Just got the FA Cup 5th round draw here. Just want to commit onto video the moment where we get drawn against Chelsea again. Let's have a look. We'll watch it live. We've not got them. Unbelievable. Chelsea have been drawn against Bournemouth. Who are we going to get? I'm thrilled. We're at home and it's against Burnley. I mean, that's actually winnable. That's not supposed to happen. We're supposed to get knocked out by Chelsea every single year. Hello everyone and welcome back to more Norwich City, bouncing back, and well, we might make it past the FA Cup 5th round for the first time ever. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? But it's 2024. January is upon us and it's nearly over. Transfer window's still open, of course. We'll talk about that in a second. We've not signed anyone despite the money we have to spend. So you can see there the results since last time we lost to Tottenham and beat Real Sociedad with a final minute second highlight of the game. Goal from Ademola Lookman. And you can see there basically, well, guess the point where we did a team meeting. You can see the impact that has had. So when we left off, we then played Manchester United and we got ourselves another win. This was not a late equaliser for them. We came from behind, goal from Emi Buendia in the 79th minute, getting us a point against a team who we have beaten. We did beat them last season, but generally speaking, a team we usually do lose to. So quite a good result. We then lost in the League Cup quarter-final to Everton. I thought if we played a full-strength side, we probably would have done better, but I didn't want to risk it. They did go full-strength. I wanted to give everyone a bit of a rest, and we lost. So these things happen. We then played Liverpool at Anfield, probably the hardest side in the division and the game, and we lost 4-2. Very spirited performance. We were competitive for much of the game. They've got Erling Haaland, and he scored a hat-trick. Absolutely no shame in that whatsoever, but of course at this point, because we hadn't won in the league for I think 6 or 7 games, the computer then started saying things like, oh, your fans are criticising your tactics. Our job security dropped down to, I think, maybe even stable, certainly secure. The media were criticising us. We were getting constant questions about how it feels, how the morale is, because we keep on losing games, even though actually we hadn't lost. Well, we barely lost any games in the league. It was mostly draws. The morale was still actually listed as very good, but the player liaison guy was like, we need to do a team meeting. I mean, I was going to do one anyway, but the game was doing the whole, your form is really bad, you're really bad kind of thing, which I get. I mentioned this last time, but I really don't think it's particularly justified or fair, because yeah, we hadn't won a game, but as we said, we got a point against a team we've never got a point against before. We got a point against another team we've never got a point against before. We got a point against a team who we usually draw with. We lost to Spurs, that wasn't great. But then we got a point against another team that we usually lose to, and then we lost away at Liverpool. Those were the league games since the Newcastle one, and none of them could really be described as disappointing. But anyway, a team meeting is what we did. We also did change a few players around in the starting lineup. Calvin Phillips has come in place of Hamza Chowdhury. Did very, very well, and well, we left it a bit late. It was heading for another 0-0, but Adam Armstrong off the bench and Emi Buendia giving us the goals in the 82nd and 88th minute for a well-deserved and much-needed 3 points. But you can see Adam Ida's rating there, 6.3. The fact that Adam Armstrong scored meant that he was then dropped. A traumatic moment for me especially, as he's essentially my son at this point. But we had to drop him. His form was terrible. In fact, I think last time when I was describing the Leicester game, I talked about how he's having his best season ever, or he's on track for his best season ever. Didn't score again after that. So we had to drop him for the game against Burnley. Adam Armstrong scored a brace, 2 very good goals, as we got another 3 points on the board. Very welcome. And then Adam did actually break his scoring drought as he played in the FA Cup game against Shrewsbury. It was a 2-0 win there as well. The only blip in the month of January then, really, Sheffield United was a 0-0 draw, a little bit disappointing, but since then, 4 wins on the spin, which is what we like to see. 2-0 win against West Ham United, Lookman and Edwards with the goals. And then an absolutely ridiculous game against Watford. We came out 4-2 winners in the end, but it was a nervy affair. We did the thing again. We coasted into a 2-0 lead. Adam restored to the starting lineup, got himself a goal. James Maddison scored as well. They then got a goal back through Deulofeu. Lookman then made it 3-1. They then got a goal back in the 89th minute, and then there was another highlight in the 93rd minute, and I thought, we've been here before. I thought this was only going to go one way. The ball was played across. Taylor managed to clear it, but not very well. Deulofeu had another chance. Cantwell missed the tackle, but luckily Chowdhury managed to head it away. They didn't score, and then Adam just literally ran through their defence, who didn't seem to be aware of him at all. Dinks the goalkeeper, 4-2. Lovely goal. I'm just so relieved we didn't concede. And the wins continued as we beat West Brom. Again, nervy. They scored a goal in injury time again. This one was ruled out for offside though, so we won 1-0. And most recently, a 3-0 win in the FA Cup 4th round against Luton Town. We're safely through. We're not playing Chelsea in the next round. So I think overall it's been very good. The sort of blip patch that we've had was actually not too bad against, good, reasonable results at least against teams that we usually struggle against. So I'm happy with that. Today then, we have got ourselves 2 home games to play in the league. Arsenal first of all, who have not had the best season. They're down in 9th. They have just sacked their manager. Craig Shakespeare is now in caretaker charge of Arsenal. So prepared to lose to him later on. Mikel Arteta long gone. They hired Thierry Henry, who didn't last a year. Then they've most recently had Matthias Almeida, who, well, he's been around a bit in Central and South America. My only real memory of him is I had one of them. You remember the Corinthian Micro Stars? I had one of him, and he was probably the only player I didn't know who he was. But here he is, unemployed now. So interesting to see if they make an appointment. Otherwise, yeah, we'll probably lose to Craig Shakespeare. We then have Everton as well. We need some revenge. They've beaten us twice this season, despite previously us having a very, in fact, yeah, we won our first 4 games against them. Then it was a draw last season, and yeah, they've won the last 2 meetings. So some revenge needed. Is of course still the transfer window as well. We haven't done any business. Well, I say that we have. It was quite funny. Basically, Jurgen Klopp was having a go at me because we weren't playing Curtis Jones, which is true. We haven't been. So he said, I'm going to recall him in January. And January came round and he did. Went and had a look at him. They put him straight back on the loan list. So just put a bid in for him and they accepted it and he's joined. So great. Well, thanks for that, Jurgen. That was really worth it. Definitely one of the weirdest things I've seen in the game this year. Something that can only really happen in Football Manager. But he's back. We've got him for the rest of the season. Probably won't play, but he's useful to have. I do anticipate some bids on deadline day. Some of our players are attracting interest. Man City want Jamal Lewis, but he wanted to go. But again, Christoph Zimmerman, very reliable at persuading people to stay. West Ham want Ronaldo Vieira as well. Quite a good bid for him, actually. But he's such a useful player. I don't want to lose him in January. Yeah, look, here they are again. I mean, it's non-negotiable. Not interested. He's not going anywhere. I'm not selling any of my best players, ideally ever, but certainly not in the January transfer window. Managed to survive deadline day unscathed, which is obviously good. We didn't actually show the Premier League table. Here it is. We're currently in 5th, which is kind of just our sort of standard position in our time in the division so far. Chelsea have already played this weekend, though, in 4th, and they've lost to Manchester United, which means if we win against Arsenal, which is it's a big if, we will go above them in the table into that 4th Champions League spot. We are well in contention for that. Spurs aren't too far behind though, and then our later opponents, Everton, not that far behind them either. But the best way to continue that is, of course, to just, continue winning. So for this one, Nick Pope is, of course, going to be in goal. Jamal Lewis, Chris Mepham, James Tarkowski and Max Aarons is the defence. We have had a little tweak around here just in terms of Chris Mepham and James Tarkowski. They're keeping the same side of the defence, but they've switched roles around. Mepham is now the central defender on defence with Tarkowski, the ball-playing defender. I think it's partly because Mepham's left foot is not weak, but it's not his strongest, so he's kind of been making mistakes when he's trying to pass the ball. So by switching it around, seems to have stabilised things a little bit. Midfield is Harry Winks, James Maddison, and as said, Calvin Phillips has come in and he has cemented that place over Hamza Chowdhury. Buendia's on the right, Lookman's on the left, and Adam Ida restored after his brief time on the bench up front. Right then, obviously beat Arsenal earlier on in the season. Now we're recording this one, so that probably won't happen. Craig Shakespeare in the dugout. I mean, he is a man who has managed his side in a Champions League quarter-final, so he's got experience, but I mean, hopefully he doesn't have that sort of new manager bounce or caretaker manager bounce. I want to win this one. We should be winning against them. They're down in 9th place. This should be 3 more points at home, but I've hit record, so you never know. Lewis with the throw in, safely still here, but I guess he wishes he wasn't because he just chucked it straight to Arsenal. I mean, how do you even do that, really? Daka with a good effort. It's a good save by Pope, tipping it round for a corner. How do you so easily throw the ball to a guy in a completely different shirt colour? And that's apparently the only thing worth reporting on. We're apparently doing better in terms of the stats, but I'm not picking particularly amazing games for you to watch. Last time, I've said I was delighted with the performance there. They're demotivated. Let's try and save this one. Expect to see more. Please don't hate me. It's not gone well, really. It's not gone well. But I mean, yeah, last time we played Sociedad, barely anything happened. I mean, this is heading the same way. We've had loads of highlights in games recently. We've scored loads of goals. It's been great, but not today. Still nothing. Oh, here we go. It's an Arsenal attack. I've mucked everything up by clicking the wrong team talk option. It's ruined everything. They're trying to play the ball forwards for Daka. We need to be sensible here. Mepham does, though, keep the ball out of the goal, as does Pope. And that's, I mean, well, it was apparently very tight, but it didn't cross the line. I don't really think we need to see that. I think we need to kind of go for this a bit more. Arsenal seem to be trying to mostly hit us on the counter, but we're not really doing anything of note, at least that we've seen. Can we work something now? I've gone attacking. It's not taken effect yet, but maybe it's sort of spurred them on. Lookman driving forward, space for Wendy. Arsenal sitting very, very deep, very, very compact. I mean, as you would probably expect from Craig Shakespeare. But we've got a bit of room for Wendy. Pulls it across, and that man is back in form. And my God, thank God he is. Pretty clear that a cross was the only thing we were going to be able to do to break this down. And Buendia puts it on a plate for that man again to make it 1-0. If this can be one of our one and done specials, that would be quite good. Apparently not. Corner comes in. Ryan Christie cleared away. Can we get on it? Buendia, he does. There's defenders back, but Ida is there if we can find him. A little bit of Arsenal defensive company. He's going to take it on himself. Maybe not the best option, but Ida wasn't in the best position, so probably the only choice he could do. We've got a corner. Madison goes short, and it's apparently a great challenge. Final few minutes. I kind of am loath to make any changes here because it will just extend the injury time, and they'll find a way to equalise. We'll take the risk. We've taken the risk, and we've taken all 3 points. One real chance of note, 1 goal. Buendia to Ida. It's been working since the championship. They're not always in tip-top form the entire time. It's difficult to maintain that level of consistency, but they are good. They are good, and it's another 3 points. We move up to 4th place, 2 points clear of Chelsea. That's pretty good. Can we keep it going against Everton, though, who, they've done quite well against us so far this season. 2 defeats out of 2 as far as we're concerned, so need some revenge. No changes to the team after the one that just very, very limited highlights, but managed to dispatch Arsenal. We have not beaten them since we so comfortably destroyed them 5-0 on the opening day of last season, but I think actually all subsequent matches we've played against them have been at Goodison Park. So back home, Carrow Road, we should be getting the job done, right? That would be good. Free kick early on from Madison, swings it in. Ida's there. It's a brilliant save from Pickford to tip it over the bar. It's like they're camera shy or something. We've been scoring goals for fun. We've had loads of exciting games, end-to-end stuff. The game against West Brom, the game against Watford was ridiculous. And then we start today's episode and then barely anything happens in both of these matches. It's still 0-0. Both teams clearly very evenly matched and clearly just cancelling each other out to the point that nothing is happening. And we just sort of passing the ball around and then putting it out for a throw-in or something. Oh look, here's the throw-in. Everton, Digne forward steer. Iwobi swings it into Calvert-Lewin. He's headed over. Made a couple of changes. It's doing nothing. I mean, do we go for this a bit more? I guess we do, but not sure what difference it's really going to make into injury time, and it's going to be another ridiculously boring, uneventful game. Someone's got injured. It's Jamal Lewis. Brilliant. We've got no other subs. We've got to survive 13 seconds. You couldn't have carried on. Potential knee injury as well, so that's probably him done for the rest of his career. I think we can live 20 seconds or so. I mean, the amount of time being added on here is not good. That was a lot. We survived it, but Highsage got injured as well for them, so maybe that's not all him. If this is his cruciate ligament, then should have sold him to Man City. I'm going to say I don't know what to say of the performance because there wasn't a performance. We had one highlight early on, then nothing else happened. You're unlucky. They seem motivated. At least that's something. I mean, it's another point, I guess. That's good. We're still in 4th. Okay, good. I suppose that's all right. Lewis, sprained knee ligaments, 5 to 7 weeks. Not good at all, really, because it means we have to rely on Greg Taylor, but at least he's not done his cruciate. As if that's actually happened with 15 seconds left on the clock. I mean, really. But oh well. At least that wasn't taking up too much time. It's not a win against Everton, but at least we didn't lose to them for the third time in a row. That is therefore going to be where we leave things off today. Not just I don't know what. Look how much action there's been in the last month, and then I start recording and we get what, 3 highlights in 2 matches? I don't know. At least we didn't lose. Hopefully a bit more interesting next time, though. We will be playing the Europa League second knockout round. We get to skip straight there, of course. We don't have to go through the first round because we won the group as well as the Newcastle game in the middle. Let's have a look and see who we could potentially be facing. These are the first knockout round ties. Some big sides in there, of course. Napoli, AZ Alkmaar, of course, knocked us out last season. Never actually mentioned because just it's not worth my time, but they did actually win the Europa League last season. It could have been us, it should have been us, but hopefully we can avoid them this time. We will see who we will play next time, and indeed we will play them. That is going to be where we come back. But that's the end of things for today. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe as well so you don't miss what happens next time. Can we win something this season? We're still in the FA Cup, we're still in the Europa League. Can we qualify for the Champions League as well? It's looking possible, or at least more possible than it did last year.